Israeli rabbi, the Yahudi, as I mentioned, dear brothers and sisters, they are so desperate now for the Messiah to appear that they are making a lot of statements relating to the end of time prophecy. Now, in this video, I have actually heard somebody, I think this is a rabbi, who is now talking about one of the signs, according to their understanding of the end of time, Jewish eschatology. They are saying that this sign is going to be fulfilled, which is the Euphrates River. They have some other understanding, other teachings from the Bible as to how this whole thing will play out. So, for example, they said that there will be three apostasy, three big events will take place. Number one would be a false prophet, and then there will be a beast, and then there will be a dragon. These are all written in biblical prophecies, which we Muslims do not believe at all. Nevertheless, I do find this video to be very, very interesting, because in this video, the person is indicating that the Euphrates River right now, as we Muslims are also claiming that this river is drying up, he is claiming something very, very similar. Take a listen.
The Euphrates River is drying up. It's prophesied this would happen, and its drying up will signal multiple massive end times events. But are we there yet? I'm going to discuss this and a new view on the great falling away that I haven't heard anyone else talk about that you won't want to miss, because I worry about what if videos like this will lead to the great falling away. More on that later. First, I've come across a few incredible before and after videos on the Euphrates River drying up that I'll put on screen while I point out its prophetic significance. It's prophesied that the Euphrates River will dry up in the last days in Revelation 16:12, when the sixth angel pours out his bowl on the river and it dries up. When this happens, it will prepare the way for the kings of the east to cross and come to the war against God Almighty, the war of Armageddon. This will signal three unclean spirits, which are demons, coming out of the mouth of the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet, and they'll be performing signs and going to the kings of the earth, gathering them together for this battle. We're also told in Revelation 9 verse 14 that 4 angels are bound under the Euphrates River, and when they're released, they will kill 1/3 of mankind. They will be
Okay, so let me tell you a few things. Now, the falling away, according to the biblical understanding, is going to be the apostasy that will take place. The falling away basically means somebody who is a major figure in the history, or who will play a very pivotal role at the end of time. He would commit apostasy. He will leave his religion. Now, the world at that time will be under tremendous, in a very chaotic situation. On top of this, to make things even worse, these people, righteous people who are supposed to be the role model, will actually leave the religion of God, means they will not believe in God anymore. This is what the great falling away means in biblical term. Now, do we have something similar? Well, if you take a look at the hadith, Rasulullah said, "Yumsiku fi rajulu mu'min wa yumsi kafir." The person who is going to be a Muslim, Yushikul Furat, when the Furat River will give up its goals, and that time when a person is a Muslim in the morning, he will become a kafir at the end of the day. Do we have similar hadith? Looks like we do, but what we see a big difference between Christianity and Islam is that we do not believe that major figures will apostate, right? We believe that people in general will give up on their religion and that they will not believe. At the same time, we are seeing how this person is referring the Euphrates River, as you can see on the screen, is drying up very, very fast. Now, before I actually continue on, I just want to remind you this. As you can see on the screen, subscribe, share, like, because we talk about this topic in this channel all the time, and I show you this sign to subscribe again, because most of my subscribers, or sorry, viewers, they are not subscribed. So again, consider to subscribe so that we can inshallah keep each other updated. Let's take a listen more.
be accompanied by an army of horsemen, and the number of them is 200 million. Revelation 9:16 through 19. Now the number of the army of the horsemen was 200 million. I heard the number of them, and thus I saw the horses in the vision. Those who sat on them had breastplates of fiery red, hyacinth blue, and sulfur yellow. And the heads of the horses were like the heads of lions, and out of their mouth came fire, smoke, and brimstone. By these 3 plagues, a third of mankind was killed by the fire and the smoke and the brimstone which came out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails, for their tails are like scorpions, having
dear brothers and sisters, as you can clearly see, this is the situation of the river that was back in March of 23rd, 2021. He is talking about the biblical prophecies. I do not think that will benefit us in a great deal. So I decided just to let you know a few things. So this is a river from September 11 of 2021 last year. As you can see, the water is receding right now. I mean, this is very, very clear from the screen. You can see the water level is going down and down. This is again from September 11, 2021. And then you have a river right now, which is this is picture from January of 2022, this year, January 10th. So as you can see, the gradual decline of the water in Euphrates, it is ushering the coming of the end of time. And there are very, very revelations written in the Bible. Also, there are hadith that talks about this phenomenon that will take place at the end of time. And this is the picture you are seeing from January 10, 2022 is really very, very alarming, because the river is in fact losing a lot of its water due to political unrest, sometimes due to economic reason. People are using up the river, the water. And so September 15th, this is only 2 months ago, 2022. Look, this is the situation of the river. Like, it's almost gone. And this is why everybody, from the Muslim community, Yahudi, and also Christian, they are now very, very worried. And all of these revelations that they're showing, these quotes, they are basically talking about the great falling away. Again, this is something we do not believe that a falling away will take place, but what we do believe is that there will be people who will be Muslim in the morning and then become a kafir. And of course, the big apostasy, if you want to call it apostasy, would be Dajjal, because in the beginning he will say, I am Masih, I'm a prophet from Allah. And then he will say, I'm the God myself. He will come to the Christian and he will say, I'm the Son of God, I'm Masih. Because remember, these Christian evangelics, like, look at this guy. I mean, this Ken Pope, he's a very, very rich evangelical Christian. They believe that the Messiah will come, the second coming of Jesus, Isa alayhi salam, and that he will give them their, the fulfillment of the prophecy, which is the second coming of Jesus. But then obviously we know that this same guy, Dajjal will claim divinity, and he will say, I am actually the God myself. And that will fulfill the requirement for the Yahudi. So the Christians, their prophecy will be fulfilled by Ad-Dajjal, means Dajjal is well alive. Does he know what the Christians are believing right now? I'm pretty sure he does, because remember, there are a lot of hadith that indicates Dajjal is a miraculous figure. He knows what is happening with the Christian, so he will come to the Christian, because the world population right now, most of them are Christians. Like, I mean, even though a lot of them, they don't go to the church, but that's a different issue. But he will go to this big population, the biggest population on earth, the biggest religion on earth, even today, is Christianity. He will go to these people and he will convince them. Once he does that, then he will also convince the Yahudi that I am actually the God myself. Because remember, the Yahudi, they're waiting for a Messiah, and also they are going to be waiting for somebody who would lead them out of darkness to light. And this is how they will fulfill the prophecy. Dear brothers and sisters, things are getting very, very convoluted right now, very confusing with all these biblical predictions, prophecies, and also Yahudi and Muslim Islamic understanding. So we need to really remind each other of what is the truth, and that is the hadith, the Sahih hadith, and what we read from the Quran. But at the end of the day, I have to ring the alarm, which is that we are living at the end of time. Euphrates River, it is like, if you take a look at the river right now, you will know that this river is almost dead. Assalamu alaikum.